So this is Globality by Feigel Tamás. It's about gaining influence all over the world and develop your own territory as high level as possible and getting victory points this way. But you have to watch out not to track too much energy and make the whole world collapse in the total energy during the game. So basically you have 6 development tracks. 3 of them are for producing and 3 of them are for dominance. This is the agriculture, produces food basically. This is industry, producing all variety of goods, and this is science, which will multiply the production of these 2 tracks. Then we have the war track. I think it's obvious what you can do with it. Then the media track, and diplomacy and trading. Through the game, the players can trade with each other, they can make pact with each other, and they can trade also with a common market on different levels of their merchant, based on their merchant skills. And during the development, you will have to pay extra resources, so every little detail are connected to some other details in the game. You place workers, basically it's a worker placement game. You place workers, at the end of every round you have to feed them. To feed them you will need agriculture. But to develop also agriculture and the multiplying science, you will need the industrial goods because you're paying goods and also money, so you have to trade. So that's more of a complex system you have to think of, and you have the opportunity to place your pieces all around the globe or half globe and put it on other players' tracks. This gives the basic benefits of the tracks to another player, but in the feeding phase, the another player have to feed your piece, and sometimes you get additional tribute that he or she has to play for you in the tribute phase, especially if you put your piece on the war track. So if you put your piece on someone else's track, here for example, it gives him the basic benefit, but you have to feed him, he have to pay you food, and you get the victory point for that piece, even if it's on another player's territory. So it is worthy to put your pieces in another player's country, but you will need popularity to do that, because every time you lose some popularity. If you don't have enough popularity to lose when you place your cubes, then or cylinders, then you have to flip a safety token to an anarchy side, and he has to do it also. If all your safety tokens are on their anarchy side, you will get local crisis cards, and you have to deal with this local crisis and face all the negative effects, or if you can fix it, you will get reward. During the game there are a lot of actions which you can choose with these action markers. There are development actions, basically you place workers to develop on your tracks. But you have event actions, you place event cubes. Their work basically the same, but at the end of every round, the events are over, so the cubes are falling off the board. For instance, if you have placed one cube here, then if the cube falling off, then this goes down here. You have to feed only the workers, not the events. They're not to be fed. So this is a new kind of variation of worker placement because there are two types of workers: one to be fed and staying on their place, and one that are falling off but not to be fed, and they are also cheaper to put on the table. And also, you have these three dominance tracks: the war, media, and diplomacy trade, which indicates the player order and gives you dominance points for every single piece of your color on these tracks all around the globe. So it is interesting when you send someone to another one's territory that it works there, lives there, gives them benefits, but gives you benefits also. So that's the main strategy of the game. The whole game is divided into 4 decades, and during these decades, you can get achievement. So above this line, all your pieces worth victory points for you, 1 victory point each. Above this line, it is very high and expensive to develop there, but those will worth 3 victory point each. And if you are the best at some part of the actions, the development, the resource gathering, you get extra points with these achievements. And in every round, there are new achievement cards are flipped and new stuff to fight for in every decade. And of course, there's a possibility to get the anarchy pass through red spots. The anarchy pass through red spot. There are coming global crises, and you have to work together to get over the global crises. And if the anarchy clock goes all around, the whole world collapses, and then you have only your army and your food that you just save for later. And first you have to protect your people. Those who you cannot protect are falling off the bird, they're dead. And then you have to feed them. Who you cannot feed, they're also dead. If there's an anarchy, the workers who are still living counts only. Nothing else matters. But in more fortunate cases, the anarchy track never goes down there.